Hey guys, so Rochelle here with Amethyst Ascension, and today this is going to be a VR to Heather at Heather Carter, or a VR to Heather Carter, and the hashtag is 10 questions every tarot reader should answer. Now, I want you to keep in mind before this begins, I am pretty new still to tarot, just a little over a year, so keep that in mind, please. My answers are probably going to change as I grow with the tarot. So, number one, were you mentored or were you self-taught? I think a little bit of both, because I have taken a course on Udemy, and then on top of that, I feel like it's almost a mentorship when you're reading all of these brilliant books from these other people and getting their perspectives. So it feels like, I mean, it's not an actual one-on-one mentorship, but I still feel like I've been mentored or helped in that manner, but also self-taught because I'm going at my own pace. Number two, are you psychic or a tarot reader? Well, I'm a tarot reader. Sully, get out of stuff, man. You're killing me. Go on. I love you. Now go lay down. Let Mama finish this, okay? Tarot reader. The meanings are important to me. However, I am starting to trust my intuition more. And I do get, let me just say, I feel like my intuition is, or my psychic ability is different. I will hear things. Usually it's my own voice, but it'll still come in my head for certain things, like songs, and then I'll hear, ringing in my ear. I believe that's clairaudience. But my biggest thing really is clear cognizance, where I don't understand how. I just know things. There's just this knowing. I'm a very vibrant, heavy dreamer. I remember my dreams all the time, and they're out there. Let's put it that way. And it's always been like that from the time I was a little kid. So I wonder if it has to do with being downloaded with information when I'm sleeping or what. I don't know. I've had premonition dreams that have come true like that day or the next day. But so I do believe that everybody has those abilities. It's just a matter of recognizing them and tapping into them. But I would say at this level in my tarot journey, it's more about meanings and using my intuition on top of the meanings, if that makes sense to you. Are your predictions accurate, and is accuracy important to you? Of course, accuracy is important to me. Do I think that even the most well-known psychics are accurate 100% of the time or most of the time? I think that people have different ways, and there's many things that can come in and confuse those. Let me just say something here, and I don't like Sylvia Brown. When I first started awakening up to a lot of things and changing my perspective on things, because I was raised Christian. I'm only Christian because of Jesus Christ, not because of the Bible and all that. But anyways, Sylvia Brown, who was a psychic that would go on like Montel Williams and all that, I read so many, 15 of her books, and they just really resonated with me. And I know that she got a lot of static because there would be times when her stuff would not be right. But if you take into consideration how many times she was right in comparison to how many times that she was wrong, I think that there's also things whenever you're channeling that kind of information that other things can pop in there and cause confusion. So, yes, accuracy is important. I think that I'm accurate, but I don't always stick 100% to that because, I look at tarot like anything. It's more of like a guide. It doesn't mean that's what's going to come to play, because we have free will, right? We change what happens in our lives. So I see it as possibilities. Number 4, is there anything that you could predict, or is there anything you can't predict in a reading? Well, I don't really like necessarily doing predictive readings. It's just me talking with my higher self, looking at the cards, whatever images flash in my head, or whatever sounds that I hear, or impressions that I feel, or emotions that I feel. Because I am very empathic, so that can be confusing sometimes. Another reason I don't like large crowds and stuff like that is simply because I can get easily overwhelmed, and then I have to start doing things that kind of protect myself. That's why I'm always carrying around my black tourmaline, because I feel like not only does it physically and spiritually protect me, but it emotionally protects me. So as far as, is there anything that you can't predict in a reading? There's probably lots that I can't predict in a reading. And I don't really like to go that route. I know I'm kind of rambling, right? Sorry. Number 5, do you use only tarot, or are you multi-disciplinary? Well, mainly tarot. Oracle. I love Oracle. Aw, that's Pepper. And pendulums. I have tried pendulums. She's my chubby girl. She's so beautiful. Pendulums, I've just started really dabbling a couple of times. I would like to learn more about that, but it still kind of freaks me out a little bit. I don't. And runes, I want to learn runes. I've just recently started researching runes. Palmistry, I would like to pick that up. I just picked up this and then a little book on palmistry, and my sister's really learning palmistry and is really into it. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, those. Is the message in the cards or in your head? Well, I think it's both. And the reason I say that is because, and like I said, bear with me, because I'm early in my tarot journey. I'm just starting. And I'm just really starting to build my, that's part of the reason why I like tarot so much, because it's helping me to build my intuition and trusting my gut. Because even when you play those, like when you do Zener cards, you know, like the intuition building cards, some are square, some are circles, some are the wavy lines, some are triangles. Well, I find that when I just think of the very first thing that comes to my mind, the very first thing that pops in my mind, it's right. When I get in my head too much and start thinking, well, maybe it's not that, blah, 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 blah. And there's been other, one of the groups that I'm in, a crystal group, one of the ladies, she also does this exercise where she puts she has 3 crystals out, and then she'll put 1 crystal in a box, and she'll send us the pictures and a video. And then she says, okay, and this is usually on Sundays. I've been so busy, I haven't done it in a while, but it was brilliant. So she would put one of them in there, and she would take the pictures, and then she says, okay, by the time that I've sent this out, one of these crystals is in the box. So I'm sending it out into the universe. What is actually in the box? 9 times out of 10, I would get it right when I trusted my very first thought. After that, when I would second guess myself, I always got it wrong. So it's learning to trust my gut. That's what really is helping me with the tarot. So I think it's a little bit of both, because reading the cards and trusting my intuition and building my intuition as I go along. I know I'm making these really long and complicated. 7, are you a priest or a fortune teller? I mean, I don't really like fortune teller. I mean, I think it's really cool. The aesthetic behind a fortune teller is cool. But I don't, and really predicting things, I don't really want predictions. Not for myself, and it's hard for me to predict for other people. Just because I think, for one, it can be very scary. And just like if a doctor tells you, okay, you've got 6 weeks to live. If that person really believes that they've got 6 weeks to live, they've got 6 weeks to live, because I believe that we are our thought processes, that those vibrations that we put out, that's what we are. So prediction, that's a really hard thing for me, because I don't want to put something out there and somebody, you know, really just stick to that, and then that's what they become, because there's, especially if it's a negative thing. If it's a positive thing, yeah. If it's a negative thing, I don't ever like to focus on that. So therapy, priest, therapist, tarot, yeah. I think it's a huge form of therapy. Huge form of therapy. So I would say for me, more the therapist and helping somebody maybe through an issue rather than helping them predict their future. But I'm early. I'm still new. 8, are you a fixer or a looker? I'm both. I love to learn about the psyche of people and what makes them tick, and I like to be an observer and a seeker of truth. However, one of my negative, I see it as negative, and probably other people do as well, because there are just times that you can't fix it. I seen somebody else put this on theirs. I believe it was, no, it wasn't Heather. It was another lady. And she had said that the fixing, you can't really help somebody fix something that they don't want to fix. So sometimes just giving unsolicited advice and stuff like that, no, you can't fix it. Just like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So that is a negative aspect, because I want to fix people. I want to help them, but sometimes you can't. So I would say both, but I want to be more a looker, an observer, rather than a fixer. 9, do you read for free or for a fee? Well, here's also another thing. I have never had a paid client yet. I have a website, very new. It doesn't get much traffic because I don't do any advertising to it or anything like that. And I have the prices up kind of high, probably because I don't necessarily want anyone to pay for it yet, but I still want it up there. And I offer free, I was offering free readings, and I've done some of those, but I don't even like necessarily doing a big free reading, because I put so much of my energy into it, and 9 times out of 10, that's what they want, is just a freebie, and then they don't give you any feedback afterwards. So I feel like it's not a great way to really learn how accurate you are. Now, when it comes to my family and friends that I have done for, or like my daughter or her friends, I feel like they've been really good, very accurate, but I don't charge a fee for that. So, and then I did one that I had done this really elaborate, but did a video, and then I couldn't transfer it in the video because it was too big. So I don't even know the best way of going about delivering something, because I would rather do a reading on video versus having to put it all in you know, typing. 10, is there anything that you won't predict in a reading? Yeah, like I said before, I really don't like to predict too much, especially when it comes to health or spiritual evolution or anything like that. I want to help guide somebody to understand their own truths. But as far as predicting something, nah, not really. So those are pretty much my answers. Like I said, this was a VR to Heather Carter And, you know, she had put also in her video that there had been other people who, I think she said Katie Flowers and Simon over at the Hermit's Cave, and there was other ones on there, but I'm going to put a link on mine to her because she's the one that revived it recently. So I'm going to put a link in my description down below to Heather's channel, and you'll see the whole rundown of who she previously seen it because she did all the homework. So I'm just gonna refer you over there. So this was 10 questions, hashtag every tarot reader should answer. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you do the same if you haven't already done this one. And if you have done this one already, give me a comment and, you know, send me over to yours so that I can view it as well. And thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed this. If so, give me a like. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget about the little notification bell if you want to receive future notifications of videos. And I'm wishing you guys always love and light. Bye-bye.